Welcome back to Prospect Basketball Weekly, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings and Mount Prospect. I'm your host, Connor Graver, here with Boys Varsity head coach John Camardella. Coach, thanks for being on the show.
Morning.
After a tough weekend going 1-3 at the St. Viator tournament, what are your biggest takeaways?
Well, when we decided to start playing in this tournament 5-6 years ago, we knew exactly what it would present regarding matchups.
Mm-hmm.
You see totally different styles of play, and it exposes what you need to work on right away. I tell our guys all the time, you don't win championships in November, but you try to learn lessons that will help you compete for them later.
Right.
And we learned a lot about ourselves, what we can do well and what we need to work on, and that's what we got back to work this week in practice on.
Absolutely. How did Sam Murray's 14-point performance help against the number 2 team in the state, Evanston, on Friday?
Yeah, there was when you could do that against, one of the better teams in the state, it's a great sign. And, Sam's one of the better shooters we've got on the team. He's a very confident offensive player. Now it's a matter of finding other guys that can slide in and compete for different roles. Absolutely. As conference season starts.
Absolutely. Who are some of the biggest contributors throughout the entire tournament?
Our seniors really did well in competing. I think the thing that most teams deal with in November into December is learning new roles, learning new positions. Mm-hmm. And we always say, when you get into these varsity games especially against highly ranked teams and opponents,
right,
is that you have to be very mindful that the speed is much faster, and your window for opportunity in terms of passes, mm-hmm, rotation angles, shot selection, everything gets a lot faster. You got to make decisions a lot more quickly. And so, what I would say is the juniors continue to grow and mature, and as the seniors start to learn to play with new roles, I look at practice first. If they're doing it in practice, and then hopefully it'll translate into games.
Absolutely. What will be the biggest keys to earning your first conference wins against Wheeling and Oak Grove in these coming weeks?
It's a good one. Yeah. The nice part this year is we get to host our first 2 East games at home. Mm-hmm. So it'll be nice to come home. But the second half the second part of your question is that I think just going back to doing the little things right. We have to be in position as the ball's moving on defense.
Right.
Sometimes we're a half step slow. We've got to make sure to limit second chance opportunities that really hurt us. And granted, we were playing 2 very skilled teams, but we've got to limit second chance opportunities and have to be just mindful of the ball. And we're sharing it well, but we have to make sure that we take care of it and we're not committing live ball turnovers that result in easy points for the other team.
Absolutely. Along with the St. Viator tournament, can you give us any more information on any other tournaments you guys take part in?
Yeah, so the Wheeling Hardwood will be our next one,
mm-hmm,
which comes up after Christmas. Something that Prospect's been playing in for, I think it's as long as it's been running,
mm-hmm,
late 70s, early 80s. And something that we love just because it's community-based. We've been there, Coach O'Keefe and the Wildcats, who are coming here this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
The tournament's outstanding. Steve May is one of the tournament directors. It's great. We love it over there. Our guys love it over there. Alums come back. Families come back. But we'll take care of trying to get off on the right foot in conference, and then the hardwood will be at the end of next month.
Absolutely. That's all we have for Coach Camardella. Stay tuned with an interview with senior Grant Hiskes. Welcome back to Prospect Basketball Weekly, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings in Mount Prospect. I'm here with senior Grant Hiskes. Grant, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
What makes the St. Viator tournament different than others you play in?
One of the most things I like best about the St. Viator tournament is we get to play some of the best teams across the area. So like St. Viator, obviously they're ranked pretty highly, and then Evanston's ranked even higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
4 games in like 5 or 6 days, depends. Last year was 6, but this year is 5 days. So it's a good way to get back in the flow of everything and just always playing rather than having all those practices in between.
Absolutely.
Definitely like a lot.
How did the tournaments like St. Viator help build chemistry among the team?
Well, we have to definitely come together for a lot of those games. Like when we play St. Viator and play Evanston, we're not just going to come out there and kind of win.
Right.
Just doing what we usually do. We have to really come together and avoid making a lot of mental mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Really just have to play together and have each other's back, because it's crucial for those games, or else if you slip up, you can slip up a couple times, but you don't get many opportunities. So always having each other's back is definitely key.
Absolutely. How is the team getting used to playing with each other so far?
Believe it or not, I think we're pretty used to playing with each other because, me, TJ, Miller, Schneider, Zelmer, just the 5 of us, or even Kreidler too, and Slavsky. Pretty much all of us have been playing together since feeder.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, Zelmer, Schneider, TJ, and Sam, we've been playing together since like first grade on the blacktop and at Dryden. So, I mean, we've been playing together for a while, so we pretty much know each other's games. The juniors, they came up for the summer, so we were with them in Wisconsin, and some of them at Maryland with them too. So I think we have a pretty good feel for each other so far. It's just a matter of like talking with each other on the court.
Right.
That's been one of our biggest issues so far. You know, like not necessarily communicating on the help side or the base side. And as the season goes on, I think we'll get better than that. But that definitely has to improve going forward.
Absolutely. What will the team have to do? Like you were talking about, what will the team have to improve to pick up wins against Wheeling and Elk Grove?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the mental and tangible things. You know, like physically, we can shoot the ball really well. I think it's a lot of like rebounding. They talk about rebounding. Obviously, it seems like a physical thing, but Cuba and Rathy, they talk about that's more of like a mindset. Like you have to kind of know that you're going to go get the ball. And then that also goes with the intangibles for talking on defense. You know, just getting back. Just bringing that energy every day and bringing the hustle to every game we play, whether it be an East game or a Hardwood game or just a game at the Thanksgiving tournament. Just being ready to play and like being ready to go at all times. That's what's going to be key in helping us win.
Absolutely. And what are you looking forward to most this season?
Well, now that the Vider tournament's done, I think I'm looking forward to the Hardwood a lot. That's always a fun time right after Christmas. Another like four games in 4 days or so. Of course, look forward to the game against Meadows. You know, playing a lot of some kids that we grew up with, like Jace O'Hara, played with us at Dryden too, and then even the kids we went to South with, who are now over at Meadows, and of course, like a new challenge and
Absolutely.
our little guard over there. So yeah, I'm excited for those two games or that tournament and those two games the most.
Absolutely. That's all we have for Grant. Stay tuned with an interview with girls varsity coach Marie Miller. Welcome back to Prospect Basketball Weekly, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings in Mount Prospect. I'm here with varsity girls head coach Marie Miller. Coach, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
What was the biggest factor in picking up a key win over Barrington last night?
With any basketball team, opening up at home, you always want that to be a successful and positive experience, and it's 100% what it was. 30-point win feels good no matter what level it is, but definitely opening up at home or where you are was a great way to kind of kick off the season.
Absolutely.
We're trying to continue to have, our Prospect be our place, like that's our court. Nobody beats us on our court. We practice there every day. We prepare here every day, so we have a little bit, even greater sense of pride defending where we've come from.
Absolutely. How will games like that help you later on this season?
Just mental toughness in addition to physical toughness. We did press the entire game, which is kind of something we're looking to do and continue to be active. But Barrington, nobody, Barrington included, is going to roll over and be like, okay, Prospect, go ahead and beat us. So basketball's a game of runs in the way that it is. And they came back a tiny bit. They came within 12.
Right.
But we didn't hang our head. We didn't get down. We didn't break down mentally. We stuck together, and that's very important moving forward, that we continue to get used to and comfortable with keeping each other up.
Absolutely. What is most important to earning your first conference wins of the season against Wheeling and Elk Grove these next 2 weeks?
Well, conference play is always really important, especially with the goals that we're looking to go ahead and do. And starting off with a 2-0 start in the MSL would be obviously very crucial to our overall end goal. But anytime just playing somebody that we're going to play more than once is always good to just go ahead and set our goal, kind of set the tone, and then look forward to improving the next time we actually play them again.
Absolutely. What would the atmosphere be like inside of Gene Walker for that first division game of the year?
Well, we hope it'll be very positive and exciting. Regardless, something else we're trying to implement and continue to instill in the kids is that we can't control who comes. We can't control what they're saying or anything like that, but we can control what we can put out there for each other. So that's our own energy and feeding off of that. And, to really feel like our first home opening games, we'll be sharing it with the boys and everything like that as well, in addition to having like a teacher appreciation night. So we really hope to feed off the energy of all the fun activities and things like that we have planned. But, in addition with it being an MSL game, and it's just going to be exciting, which is what we want to just continue to carry out.
Absolutely. That's all we have for Coach Miller and all we have for this episode of Prospect Basketball Weekly. We'll see you next week, and go Knights.